Hello, everyone. My name is Sarabi, and I'm your silver consultant here with Archer Travel. And today we're going to be talking about how to use the Meta Business Suite for your Facebook and Instagram pages. So if you have a Facebook business page, what you do is you go to it. It'll look something like this, like it'll have your page and all of that stuff on there. And on the left side, there's going to be a manage page section where you're able to utilize different tools. Now, this one I'm interacting as myself, so it's not going to have everything highlighted. But if I change to myself and say I interact as my business, then it's going to open up a lot more tools and stuff for me. So you can still get to the Meta Business Suite via your personal page or your business page, but you still have to. That's just an option for you. It opens it up for you. Now, the Meta Business Suite is something that's automatically added to your business page upon creation of your Facebook business page. And you can actually download the app for free as well. So they have a mobile version for you that you can utilize when you're on the go. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. So this is what it brings you as the home page. Now, originally, when you first get started, it's not going to have Instagram automatically linked. You're going to have to actually link Instagram manually once you get started. So we will go to the All Tools section here. When you go to Page Settings, there's going to be a tab here on the left side that says Linked Accounts. This is where you'll have the option to link your WhatsApp if you have one and your Instagram. So you have to make sure you have like your Instagram link. It's an Instagram business page, and then it'll give you all the prompts to already do this. Now mine, it looks different because I have it linked, so it'll have all the details, but yours, it'll give you the tools and the steps to go ahead and link your Instagram. So once you go ahead and link it both, going back to my main page. So I'm going back to my page here, Meta Business Suite. So once I get back into the whole home screen, this is going to be what it looks like. So it tracks everything on both pages for me. If I want to manage one at the time versus the other, I can do so through here. And I have direct access to any of my notifications, inboxes, and like different content creations that I want to do. So if you want to, normally the to-do list is basically if you have to respond to any inboxes or messages or comments, that's going to be listed here. I don't currently have any right now because I have, all of mine read already. But if it's unread, it's going to be listed here. And then it's going to give you a nice overview of like your planner, posts, stories. This is what my current story looks like on both sites. They're both active right now, and it gives you a timestamp of how much or how long is going to be active. And then you have other videos and reels that you can watch on your business page to kind of get inspiration for your actual page. Okay, so in the bottom is like the new releases with Meta Business Suite. Every now and again, they have updates. So they'll show you what's new in the suite down here if you're ever curious on what's changing and going on there. So from here, I'm going to click on notifications. This is going to give you an idea of everything that's going on with both of your page. If you're tagged into something, that's going to pop up here. If someone commented on one of your posts, that's going to be on here. That's considered high priority because it tracks how engaging you are on your page. So if somebody commented on your stuff, you should be commenting and reacting back. If someone inboxed you something, you need to be inboxing and reacting back as well. So that's why they kind of categorize that as high priority. Because it's aware that this is a business account and you should be engaging with people who are engaging with your business. And then it also gives you other notifications. So if somebody liked your stuff like on Instagram or Facebook, or if somebody tagged you, it's going to all be listed here. Now I'm going to skip the planner. We're going to do that one at the end. But one that I do want to talk about really briefly here is the inbox. So this is going to be where you kind of manage all of your messages and your comments on your content. So anytime somebody sends you a DM or, they comment on something that you've posted, it's going to pop up here. Now you can choose to view it, all of them at once, or you can just look at Messenger individually or Instagram individually. It's up to you how you want to kind of categorize it. But one thing I do want to stress is having some kind of automations set up in your inboxes for both Messenger, Instagram. And I say this because whenever people are messaging you, like this person here, if you don't respond to them, it's gonna tell Facebook and Instagram that you're not being responsive to clients, and that grades you and gives you like a percentage rate, that it tells everybody on your page how soon you respond to people. And I learned this because in the beginning I was getting messages from Instagram where people were messaging me about things that they were just messaging me weird stuff, and I just left them on read. And what that was doing to my numbers was it was telling people that I wasn't being responsive. So I think at the time my percentage was like 20%. It was like typically responds in 2 weeks or something like that, because like I said, I was not responding to these people. I was just leaving them on read and only responding to the people that were actually serious. So once I set up this automations tab here, it's like this little neutron symbol. It kind of brought up those percentages and those numbers up, because what it does is it automatically sends a message to anybody who sends you a message. And basically, once you go through, you see the automation on there, you can decide who you want to respond to and who you don't want to respond to, and it won't affect your numbers. As you can see there, it sent a message to that person and I haven't responded back because obviously there is nothing there for me there. So, very, very helpful. If you go to that neutron symbol, you can hit create automation. And then the one that I use is the instant reply. So what it does, it'll create an automation already. Like you click both of them. It has, hi, thank you for contacting us. We received your message. We appreciate you for reaching out. This, I didn't come up with this. It automatically said it by itself. I thought it was fine. So I kept it that way. And then this is what it'll look like. It'll give you a nice little preview. So I highly recommend setting that up. Make sure that it's actually turned on, because that was another thing. If you don't, if you're setting it up, you have to actually manually switch it on, and then you'll be able to save it and have it go out to people. Okay, so set up those automations in the inbox. It really, really brings up your numbers, and it actually tracks your insights on how often you're messaging people. So once you go through, you get your inbox, then you want to also kind of have an idea of what your content is doing. I really like the content page because it gives you a nice little breakdown of what's working for your page and what's not. So like you can see the numbers of reach versus impressions on your page. When we're talking about reach, we're talking about how many eyes are actually going to your page. When you're saying impressions, that's how many times a post individually has been clicked on. So let's say Sarah clicked on my post 5 times. My impressions say 5 because she clicked on it that many times, but my reach is actually 1 because only 1 pair of eyes seen it. So that's kind of how you want to think about it. Just because something has like high impressions doesn't mean that it's going to a lot of people. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking of these numbers. But on here, you can see the difference between your posts. So if you do reels, you can see your insights for those. If you're doing like stories, you can see your insights for those. Your distribution rate. So basically how much is going out there to people in on Facebook or Instagram at a given time. And let's say I wanted to click on, let me click on a mock booking. I don't want to click on a video, but let's see. I've been posting a lot of videos lately. Oh, let's just click on this one. Let's see. So right here, engagements, people at least 6. So I mean, that's likes, comments, reactions that count as engagements, and then reach 60. Okay, so it's a simple meme. I thought it was funny, so I posted it. And that was my analytics from that. Didn't get any negative reactions. You can look at your performance, the preview, everything on here. It gives you a nice little breakdown of what that was doing for you. And this is for Instagram. Now you can also, whenever you're posting into groups, like say you share or you post from the Meta Business Suite into a group, it'll track to see what that group is doing for you. So like if you're posting in there, it'll tell you if that how many people are actually interacting with that post in that group. And that's very helpful because you want to know what groups are working for you and which groups aren't. So if you're scheduling them through the MetaBiz, it'll give you the analytics for that, which is really helpful as well. So definitely go in here, check to see what your actual content's doing, how many people are engaging with your content. Same kind of deal with the stories. You want to have at least one thing on your story at all times. So the story is something that's going to be on your page for at least 24 hours. And basically it really helps because there's people who work the midnight shift, right? Sometimes there's people who are working like overseas or something like that, and they still want to have something that's going on their page, right? The feeds move so fast that everything that you're posting during the day is going to get lost by the time nighttime comes. So you want to have at least something on your story at all times so they can actually see something as well. And you can track that, see how many hours are remaining on a certain or given post. If you schedule things ahead of time, it'll tell you that. And then if you want to go on either one of your Facebook or Instagram pages and say like, hey, what does my page look like if somebody was to go on there right now? You can get a good snapshot of what your Facebook looks like and what your Instagram looks like at the moment. Okay, so you can compare the two, see what looks different, what's on there, and kind of maneuver from there. If anybody mentions you or tags you in the post, it's going to mention here. And I haven't used clips, but that's something like if you like do clips or something like that, I'm not 100% sure how this feature is used because I don't use it. But if you know what that is, that's something that you can use as well and track. Now, insights is where you're going to spend a lot of your time with, because this is where you're really going to get to know your numbers. So whenever you're using like your pages, you want to know what your numbers are doing, what your pages are doing, so you can kind of cater that stuff to, you know, grow your business pretty much. Right here, you can set a goal for yourself. So I did something really different than I normally do. Normally I track my reach, but this month I decided to track my followers and my audience. So this is what my goal was for that. You click on it, it gives you like you know, what you should be doing, like your potential, and then the blue is what your current goal is. So for Facebook, so far got like 5 new page likes. You know, this is where I'm at with it. I still have some time to kind of bring that up a little bit, but it gives you exact numbers of what your pages are doing and how you can kind of change what is you're doing based off of what you're already doing. So Instagram, same kind of deal. This is doing a little bit better with Instagram, still following the line a little bit, but still have some work to do. Okay, so you can set one goal for yourself every 28 days. And the 2 goals that they do is one is growing your followers and your likes, and then the other one is growing your page reach. So every single time, if you guys been on my past Meta Business Suites, you guys know I always grow my reach. But I kind of wanted to see what my followers were at this time. So, you know, it's giving me a lot to think about and a lot to change. So that way I can, you know, follow those numbers and get those trends up. Now, you also want to be aware of, you know, what your normal reach is, kind of like how many people on average go to your page, what your audience is. You want to know those demographics so that way not only can you cater to them, but, you know, figure out how you can get the outside demographics onto your pages as well, because you want as many people seeing and viewing your content as much as possible. So you want to know what those numbers are for you currently, so that way you can increase that. Yeah, let me go back up here. So right here under results, this is what my reach was. So right now you see it's like very spiky, trying to get it to more of a linear thing, but obviously you can tell from the dates, it tells you what your reach is and where spikes are. So you can see exactly which posts are actually doing well for me, because you see those spikes, and then you can see where I wasn't as active as much. It has a dip in there. So, you know, consistency and making the right post, that's going to really help, you know, create that linear pattern with my reach versus, you know, that spiky action. Same kind of deal with Instagram. So it gives you exactly what was going on. As you can tell during these time periods, obviously I wasn't active because it shows that and it reflects it, versus when I started posting more, you can see those spikes. Okay. Same kind of deal with profile page and profile visits. So, you can see how often and, how many people are actually visiting your page, how many new likes you're getting, how many new followers you're getting. And if you do pay for ads, it'll show that here. I don't have any analytics on this because I've done it twice when I first started and never again, because my reach was actually way higher by posting into groups than it was by boosting those two ads, which is why I don't pay for them anymore. But if that's something that you do, you can view the analytics here. Now, audience, this is where I say you really want to be knowing what your demographics on your page are, because this is going to be what helps you kind of grow and cater your target market. These are all exportable. So if you want to like always come in here every other quarter, you can directly use this export button and get a PDF of what your current audience is. But first, we're going to look at the potential audience. So right now, this is what the estimated audience size on both Facebook and Instagram are. So as you can see, that's a lot of people, right? And then it gives you the demographics. Whoa, this has changed a lot. This was more like 60, but now it's like 80. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, see, the demographics always change, right? We have more women than men on here. As you can see on here as well, it has a lot more of the different age ranges on here of, who is on the social media sites. And then here is where you're going to really want to start marketing for on Facebook is the top cities. How can we market to these top cities? Well, you guys are joining 5 new Facebook groups a day, right? Join them in these top cities. Because when you're posting into them, a lot of people is going to increase your visibility and you're going to get a lot more people in these top cities on your pages versus, I mean, of course, you're going to do your local cities as well, but we're trying to match our demographics with the potential audience that's already on here. So you want to also be adding these ones into your ad list as well. So New York, Houston, Chicago, LA, San Antonio, Philly, Phoenix, Dallas, Fort Worth, Jacksonville. The first 10 days of the month, join groups in these top 10 cities. And then from there, do whatever you want, but at least do these top 10. And then at the bottom, it also has the top pages. That's not necessarily important as far as what we do, but if you want to know, that's cool. Like Tipsy Bartender's on there. I watch all of his videos. It's really cool. But, that doesn't necessarily apply to travel agents. Now, I'm going to match that with my current audience. So this is what my following count is for both Facebook and Instagram, which is nice. Finally starting to grow those a little bit. And then these are what my demographics look like. So again, I still have, majority women on both. And it's not quite matching the potential audience, but, generally it is. And then as you can see, for the demographic of my age bracket, it has a lot of people in there, which makes sense. A lot of people who I went to school with, all my friends, that makes sense why that's going to be higher. But I also have some that are in the other age brackets as well that I'm growing, which is nice because these both were very low before. So I'm proud to see that it's growing a little bit. And then same with the other age bracket here. Now with Instagram, same kind of deal. These two were very low as well. And then this one was low. So, I'm doing something right. I'm slowly but surely growing these up a little bit on all of the other ones. It's just that these two, I haven't really made much movement, which is fine because some movement is better than no movement, right? Now let's look at my top cities. Columbus, that's where I live right now. So it makes sense that I have a lot of people on there. San Diego's where I'm from. Makes sense. All my childhood friends, high school friends, I get it. Augusta, that's where my husband's from. So, his family members, and Wilmington, that's where my dad is from. So, I have family there. So off the bat, I have the top 4, maybe 5, because that's North Augusta. So top 5, that's just basically family and friends, right? Everything else is pretty much from building in groups. So Indianapolis, New York, Whitehall, that's over in this area. Macon is kind of by Augusta, and Westerville is in this area. So realistically, just in Indianapolis and New York, strictly built from groups. That's on one of my top cities. And guess what? It's also one of the top 10 here. New York is number 1. And oh, wow, Indianapolis actually got off the map. I know I was missing something, but it was on the map before. So just have New York on there right now. So now my job is to kind of look at that list, revisit it a little bit, and try to get some of those other groups on there. At one point, I had Chicago on the list for a very brief moment, but then, something else kind of started going there. So you want to look at these analytics every week to see what your numbers are doing and how you can keep some of those top cities on your page at all times. And then I have my top countries here, obviously United States, and then I have all these other countries as well. So very, very good to know what your audience is doing, and then you can market towards that. Feedback, if you really want, or if people are like, giving ratings and responses and stuff, that's going to show up here. I don't have any of those yet, so that's why it's at 0 for me. But benchmark, you can compare your business to other businesses. Excuse me. And basically they base it off of, what kind of content you're making and what your reach and engagements are in comparison to other businesses just like yours. So I don't necessarily follow this too much. It kind of did it on its own, because before it'll give you an option to look at it, but it kind of just did it on its own. So I have it here. But if that's something that you want to do, you can. I personally don't prefer it because what my analytics and my audience are is not the same as somebody else's. So for me, it doesn't really make sense to compare it in that way, because one, I niche in different things and I do things and have different content. Like I do things a different way. So even though it's saying this is comparing to another business, it doesn't really mean much to me, because I know that audiences are different and they interact with different types of content. So, but it is an option there for you if that's something that you like to do. And then this is content. This is going to be where it tells you what's working for you and what's not. All it does is it base your median like off of your reach and your engagements. It tells you what kind of content is working for you and what kind of content isn't. So right here, between the last 90 days and then the 90 days prior to that, my reach has exponentially went up, from here to here. And that's just because I've been doing more videos. So videos, text, images, links every now and again, but really videos and text is going to be where, my bread and butter come from. Because as you can see here, this is based off of 28. This one's only based off of 6. This one's based off of 72. So I have a lot more of ones with images, but I have more views with the little ones that I have with videos. So obviously that works. Same thing, reels, live posts, albums. So really reels and lives are going to be what really help Facebook page versus the other types of posts. This is based off of 175 posts, which basically means everything else that I've posted. So, sticking to these two is really going to be what helps grow my business in that way. Now let's look at engagements, because it's not enough to just post on your page. You have to have people engaging with you as well. So, that's going to be my 90 days prior. And then this is my current past 90 days. So again, my engagements have went up exponentially, which is nice, because before when I did this training last time, these were reversed. So good to see, right? And again, based off of videos, images aren't even on the map anymore. That's based off of 72. Text is on here, links are on here. So no engagements with these, but my videos absolutely got more based off of just those 28 posts that I've done. Same thing with lives, album posts. So, I post my certifications, and then reels, that's going to be down here for more engagements. Now that's just Facebook. Now let's look at Instagram. Okay, so see here, my reach is still going in the right direction, doing more here. Same kind of deal. Videos are way more than images. But images is not to sneeze at right here. Links, audio, text, I don't really do those because it's Instagram. You can't really do just those. So, basically it's telling me videos are where it's at, right? Reels, carousel photos. So pictures where you have more than one picture. So less flyers, but more of those pictures that show you more stuff. So a lot of people like those. Live posts, and other types of posts. So that's everything else, basically my flyers and stuff. So basically telling me reels and lots of pictures are where it's going to be good for me. Same kind of deal with engagement. All right. So videos, images, And again, guys, like I first started doing reels by accident. Like I posted a picture and I put music behind it and stuff, but I wasn't trying to do like a reel type of thing. It was, I don't know what I did. I posted it and it went into those. And that was probably the first time I did like a video. And I saw the analytics on the difference between what I was originally doing with my images and the videos. And that's kind of what kind of started getting me into those, because I did something, of course it was by accident, but it was definitely out of my comfort zone, because I would have never thought to do like a reel or video or any kind of TikTok type of thing. And, you know, I got out of my comfort zone, and now my reach is, you know, is reflecting that, is doing well, and is actually getting my name out there. So I encourage you to use your analytics and get out of your comfort zone, because you never know what's going to work for you and what's not. Now, this is going to give you another breakdown of your numbers. So right here, as you can see, that's going to give you the numbers breakdown, how many taps are on there. That's more so reflecting to like lives and stuff like that. It'll give you a category. So if it's a reel, a story, or a post, it'll tell you what the reach is for that. Let me go ahead and click on something right here. So this one was one that a lot of people tended to kind of gravitate to, because I was talking about spirit. Is it gonna give it? So kind of like how it was in this content section, it gives you like a full breakdown of analytics. Let me click on it again. It's not going to let me do it. Okay, so basically when you click on it, it's going to give you, you know, your analytics, your reach, and then it's going to give you a performance. So if it's performing high, if it's performing low, how many engagements, shares, nice little breakdown and things like that right here. So link clicks, comment shares, results, all that type of stuff. When you're going through and looking at the different posts and mock bookings that have high numbers for you. Now, I told you guys earlier, with your inbox, it gives you a grade and a percentage, right? Well, this is where it's going to show you that. That's your messaging rate. So if you start your messages, it's going to give you like a grade and a percentage off of that. I don't necessarily start a lot of messages with my business, but, you know, I get a lot coming in, and then it'll give you your responsiveness and your response rate or time. So again, if I started more from my business, it's going to have a number there for me, and you can actually monetize your messagings and conversations and stuff like that, which is something I didn't know you can do, but it makes sense now because a lot of people give you DMs. So I'm wondering if they're doing that just so that way they can get that monetization, but that is an option. And it gives you the analytics here. Now, this is where you're going to find your video performances and your video analytics. So if you're not doing videos, you're not going to have this tab yet, but if you posted like a reel or something like that, it'll give you this analytics here. So it'll tell you how many minutes are viewed, how many followers versus non-followers are actually watching your stuff, and then how many people are actually, you know, retaining the information. So how long they're actually staying to actually watch what you're doing. So right here, the loyalty is going to tell you how many returners you have, how many new followers you have versus how many unfollowed. I have 19 more followers than I did, and then I lost one. So, I mean, anyway, my net is still 18, which is good. So far, I haven't done any returners for this past week, so we got to change that. But it gives you a nice little breakdown of what your page is doing, track who's watching, who's not, and then they'll give you like a number graph of engaged followers and returners. Now, retention, same kind of deal. There's always going to be a fall off point whenever you're doing videos. So it gives you the analytics on those, when people stay, how long they stay, how many minutes they spent watching, and then what the fall off point was for that video. And same kind of deal for the audience. So, you know, what your growth rate is, more analytics, more numbers. I know for some people that's like, what? But I'm a numbers person. I'm very much about showing me than telling me. So all of this, I love like to study this type of stuff. But right here, it says the follower video views out of all of my followers, I have 69 kind of watched, and then I have more people who were non-followers watch my videos than followers did. So my job, what this tells me is I need to figure out how I can make content or make a call to action or something that's going to get these non-followers to become a follower, basically. So gives me something to work with. I'm like, okay, I know where I'm getting my views from. Now I need to convert them to follow my page. So that's really what, this kind of tells me here. Now you can also earn when you do enough videos. I'm not at that point yet, but once I get there, it'll have like my earnings and stuff like that on there. And then this one is actually new. So if you're using Facebook Reels and if you're using certain songs, then it's going to start tracking the trends in the music that you're using. So this is something that just in this past like week or so came up on my page because I changed up how I started doing my reels on Facebook, and now I have access to this type of stuff. So once I get enough videos where it can track my trends, it's going to have something down here on there for me. But super excited to see how that works out for me. So that's pretty much everything in the insights. Again, it's really just a deep dive into your numbers. I highly recommend doing this at least once every quarter. I personally do it once a week, but how often you want to do it is how often you want to do it, just so you know what your pages are doing. You can track and kind of cater your content to what your audience and your numbers are doing. So once we go through all that, we are going to go ahead and go into the planner section, because this one takes a little bit more explaining a little bit, but it's also one of the best functions, I think, personally, in the Meta Business Suite, where you can actually schedule your stuff ahead of time. So right here, as you can see, I already have my stories scheduled for the week. If I want to look at this in a month view, you can see like everything that's scheduled up to the month. And it lets you schedule things, guys, 70 days in advance. So I already have my stories for March pretty much set, maybe a little bit into April. Let me see, did I get April done? Okay, so at the point when I was scheduling this, I wasn't able to do the 8th. So now I'll be able to do the rest of April and possibly part of May as well and schedule my stuff ahead of time. Now, this is a feature that's super helpful for one. If you know you're going to go on vacation, you can put your content on whatever week you're going on vacation. You can already have that scheduled out. So your analytics and your algorithms are kept up while you guys are on vacation. And two, if you're like a busy person, if you already work or you're doing this part-time or you're stay-at-home mom like myself, you know your time is very limited. So instead of focusing all your energy just managing Facebook, because that's a job in itself, guys, it really is, it's crazy. You can focus on like your clients, or maybe you're a mentor and you can open up that time for, one-on-ones with your agents and stuff. And that really opens up your time and availability for, other things. So very, very helpful feature. We are going to go ahead and schedule something really quick. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Cancel. So this is where I say have at least one thing on your story every single day. So let's say I want to schedule something for tomorrow. Tomorrow is President's Day. So maybe I want to do like a President's Day post type of thing. Let's see the templates that they have in here. Scared me. Okay. Okay. Maybe I won't do that. I'll create my own because that's very basic. All right, so we are gonna go ahead and go into Canva real quick because I'm pretty sure they have some templates. Start. President's Day. And honestly, whatever template I find, all I'm really gonna do is put my logo on there and then my business information. Oh, I like this one. So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna put from Serenity Vacations. So very simple. And the reason why I still add ats, because as you guys can saw my ad analytics, even though I'm posting this onto my Facebook business page, I want the non-followers to know where to follow me, right? So, as you can see, that's why those numbers are important, which is why I make it a point to add what my Facebook handle is, as well as my website. Because you don't want to assume that they know where to find you. Even if they're like clicking on your page. It's just one of those things. So all I'm doing is just adding this on here just to give it something. And then I'm going to animate. All right, so something simple, and then, like I said, I'm gonna put my logo on here. Don't necessarily have to have it like all big and out of the blue, but at least it's somewhere, right? So I'm gonna keep that. All right, so now I'm gonna go back into the Meta. I'm gonna hit schedule posts. I'm also gonna select Instagram. Now this is where if you are joined in Facebook groups as your business, you can add up to 3 additional groups in addition to posting on Facebook or Instagram. This is really cool because you can post into them ahead of time and you don't have to worry about, I know we're supposed to be posting, 3 times a day into 5 groups every single day, right? So, that kind of helps ease the things a little bit. And then once you go through and schedule the rest of this, you can go back into the Meta Suite and then just only click on, maybe you want to finish off the rest of the 5. You just go ahead and click on, the 2 groups that you left off, and that's your 5 for that time frame. Or if you just want to go ahead and do, it won't let you do all 5, but you can do 3 and then 2, and then you can schedule each day, all of your mock bookings. You don't have to really worry about it. So useful feature that only works though if you only have groups on your business page. So doesn't apply to any groups that you have under your personal. So now I'm gonna add this video. I like how I said add the video and I still clicked on photo. All right, so that's gonna change up the format a little bit because it's now gonna, even though it's only the words that I animated, is gonna be published as the reel because I animated those texts. So now it's considered a video and a reel instead of just a regular, image post. So I can say something about Happy President's Day. Very simple, doesn't have to be too in detail. Of course, I'm gonna put my business hashtag on there. We'll put President's Day. And then I'm also gonna put FYP. That stands for a for-your page, and that really pushes out those numbers as well. And then I'm going to schedule it. So let's say I want this to go out tomorrow at 12. All right, so I'm gonna have that set out and schedule. And boom, it's gonna have both of those here for you. So very useful feature. You can schedule stories as well, as you can see on here. You can create reels. I mean, you'll have to have the video already put together if you want to create the reel and schedule it ahead of time. But it is an option. It's better to do it from your phone because it's a lot easier, but that is an option for you. So that's pretty much everything in the planner. Again, you can schedule things up to 70 days out. If you have paid ads, that's gonna fall under this line here. It'll track, everything that you've been posting, what the numbers are doing for you. And then under all tools, that's just gonna have everything that's there for you. CRM, if you wanna put your form, instant form on here, you can do that here with the CRM software. So like if you need, not your Google form, you can't actually like copy and paste your Google form in there, but if you want to like create a new form on your actual page, that's linked with Facebook, you can do that here. So like a qualifying form or something like that, you can actually add that on there. Or if you want to like set up appointments and things through Facebook, that it gives you those options to do that here. So that's pretty much everything that I have for you guys. That's pretty much a deep dive overview into the Meta Business Suite. Again, if this was helpful for you, go ahead and like and subscribe to my business page. We are going to be doing these at least once a month. So each time we do them, come to different ones because again, Meta Business Suite gives their updates all the time. So we highlight a new thing each time we do those trainings. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day.